so fun. Just so much fun, you guys. What's up guys, Hobo88 here and welcome back to another iRacing dirt track preview video. That's right, it is build week here in iRacing at the very end of 2024, just in time for Christmas, and we've got Husets Speedway, the newest track to come to the iRacing service, and this is one of the coolest tracks in the world when it comes to speedways, and one of my favorite tracks to watch racing at. So I'm really excited to check this place out. In this video today, we are going to go through and run around here in a whole bunch of cars like always, check out the different track states and times of day and all the rest. So guys, if you want to see a specific car, head down into the description below and find a link to that timestamp in the video. But with all that aside, let's get started. This is, like I said, one of the coolest tracks in the world of speedway racing, and it's a 1/3 mile in South Dakota, high banked fast track. Really cool place, and I'm very excited to head out here and check it out. You can see just from what's on screen here at the minute, lots of the place has been modeled accurately. Looks really cool. There's some behind the scenes, looks like a bit of a under the back of the grandstand area there that we're probably not going to be able to get to in the cars, but I'm keen to check this place out and have a look. So we're going to kick things off as we always do with the Dirt Legend. Got the baseline set up loaded, and I mean, let's get out there and have a look. Starting on the infield, so it is another infield pit area track, which is the same for most tracks here on iRacing. Just going to duck in between the walls here and have a look around the infield. And as always, it's a little bit tricky to see anything much from inside the car, but the entire infield area is just paved concrete. You can drive around in here. A couple of trucks, tow truck. Pit entry there on the exit of turn number 4. There is a little gap in the fence here in the middle of the front stretch. And on the infield, we've got a few little bits and pieces. Bit of a ladder. We've got, looks like a van. We've got some scales, which apparently are completely drive-throughable, non-interactive at all. But yeah, we've got a couple of trailers on the infield here. A beautifully modelled rubbish bin, but pretty minimal really, the infield. Not a lot happening down here on the infield of the track, which is to be expected. We'll go for a quick drive around and see whether or not we can get anywhere outside, but I doubt it. Got a gap in the fence here in the middle of the backstretch. It's all paved in. Big high fences. That's a really high concrete fence, that. I've got the luxury of triple screen, so I can see an awful lot more than you guys. Here's the main straight underneath the flag stand. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I guess we'll fire it up and get up to speed. I forgot to turn my spotter off, so we're gonna have to live with the spotter. I'll turn him off at the end of this run, but let's have a look, see what it's like. The Legend is a funny car on these dirt tracks because sometimes the tracks feel way too big for it. Sometimes they actually feel quite good. And I'll say for here, it is a bit of a smaller track and it's quite fast. This, almost had a massive crash. This car actually feels like it suits this size of track not too bad, so I could imagine some pretty cool racing in these cars around here. That spotter's going to drive me insane, but we'll live with it for the minute. We've got 0% track state, the morning time of day. Oh wow, morning time of day, so absolutely no track wear. Sun's low in the sky in the morning. Pretty wide racing surface for such a small track, but it won't be that wide once you start putting a few cars on it. Got this big wall on the outside, but then also a huge berm, kind of Knoxville-like, the inside berm. But I feel like you'll be able to run the bottom here in some cars. But the banking is fairly progressive by the look of this. I don't actually know how steep the banking is. I should have probably looked that up. It certainly flattens off on the exit of turn 4 there. I mean, I felt like it was high bank, but now that I'm starting to drive up here, it doesn't have a whole lot of banking at the top. So I don't know exactly how much, how overpowered the top line will be in cars like sprint cars and stuff, we might actually find that this is a pretty wide track for racing on. With any luck, the top won't be too overpowered and you'll be able to run a few different lines perhaps, which would be really cool. I mean, I think that's probably enough in the little dirt legend. You guys have got the grasp of it there. That's really interesting. It doesn't feel like a big track, but it doesn't feel like a small track. I don't quite know how to explain it yet. We'll see how we go as we get through the other cars. We are going to come back in a big car next, though, and we'll see whether or not my impressions change at all there. We're going to come back in the street stock next, so don't go anywhere. Alright, here we go guys, street stock, dirt street stock. We've moved the time of day to midday now. We moved the track state up to 20%, so should see a little bit of track wear. Just loaded the iRacing supplied Husets set up on the car. I'm just looking at the track, looks like the surface looks really interesting here. Look, the middle of the backstretch, it's got like a defined line where it's a different sort of texture almost down both the front and the backstretch. You got the same one around the inside line as well. If you look down there, you can see it's also down there. Interesting. It's I don't really know how to explain it. Only 20% track state. I mean, I don't drive this car a lot, so it's a little hard to tell, but it feels almost a little bit sandy. Not sure if that's right or wrong, but it doesn't feel all that like heavy at all. Like, it already feels quite dry. And that's across the entire racing surface. I don't know whether or not there was an update to the dirt itself in this build. Could be the case, or it could be just this track, I'm not sure. The top line is tricky. Ooh, definitely tightens up off the corners. But there's just not... There's not really a lot up there to grab onto. And even the corner exit there, like if you're coming off the bottom, like you're right out at the wall, particularly off the exit of 4. But you just end up all the way out here really quickly. That's really interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, well, that's the street stock. I don't think there's any much more to say on that. We tend not to have great big opinions on these early cars because they're just not that fast. We'll get more opinions as we go on, but for those of you that like the street stock, that's what it's like. I'll throw a few laps of the replay up here before we move on. And I think this track is small enough. I'm actually going to bring out the micros, so we'll do the micro next. Alright, you guys, here we go. Winged Micros. I've gone for the winged car as well. I felt like that would be better than the wingless. We're going to do midgets, so we'll stick with the winged car. I feel like this track will be okay for this. We've moved the time of day into the afternoon. We're now at 40% track state, so I'm interested to see what the track state looks like as well. But trying to figure out what my gear shift button is. We got it, we're good. So this is just on the iRacing provided Husets setup. Now I've only driven these cars once before, off memory. So I don't really remember what they like to drive. A little bit bogged down on the bottom. Maybe we need to be in third gear, not fourth. Are we in the chip? No, that seems okay, so maybe we'll just leave it in third. I don't actually know which is faster. But it sounds more impressive when you're in third gear, so let's go with that. I really like these cars, like I like the model, I like everything about it, but I've never really raced them. I reckon it'd be cool to do some racing at the Chili Bowl in them, but I've not actually done that before. Maybe one day. Oh! Our first interaction with the inside berm hasn't gone well. I just don't know if this track is too big for these things or not. Like, I don't know if you could race them on a track this size at all. Like, if they're fast enough in different lines to be able to move around and pass or not. I like them, but they are just, you hold them flat, you know, the whole way around on a track this big. This is not a big feeling track either, so I brought them out here because I thought the track might be small enough, but even still it's quite just pinned all the way around. Alright, well that's that. Let's have a look at the replay. Another one that I'm going to drag out for this video that I don't think we've used in these videos before is actually the mini stock. So we'll do that before we move up into some of the bigger cars, and I just want to see what that's like around here as well, because I really enjoyed my time racing the mini stock last time out, and that was at Kokomo, I think that was. So I reckon they'll be good here. We'll see how they go next. Alright, you guys, here we go. I love these little cars, I really do. Let's see what happens here. We've upped the track state by 20% more. We're now in the late afternoon as well, so the track should be starting to get pretty worn out. Tricky little upshift there. I screwed that up because I didn't use the clutch. Alright, here we go. I would have never picked these cars to be fun. Like, looking at them on paper, but the racing that we had in them in the last time I raced them, if you go back and look for that video on my channel, it wasn't that long ago that I posted it. It was unbelievably fun. That's a little bit too sideways. Oh. They're great little cars. And yeah, I'm sort of feeling like the very top is not going to be that good. We'll see as the track wears more if that does come in more, but at the minute this 3/4 track line where we're at about the minute, maybe a little higher, is probably good. But once you get to the very top, it slickens off and flattens out as you get close to the fence. It's not really going to be that fast, I don't think, all the way up here. You can run a little lower, like we are just there. That's the line. Just no bite on the exit of the corner there. We got a little too high. Diamond off the exit this time. Get a good run down the straight. Of course, these are low-powered cars, so as we move up into the more powerful stuff, things might change, but the minute the top just feels too far around. Mid-track, a little higher, that's where you want to be, I think. And if you look at the iRacing generated track wear as well, like, it is that middle groove that's the one that's wearing the most, which is pretty normal, but it's like there's a little bit on the bottom still, but the top's got this interesting texture deal going on where it's still a different looking texture right up here on the top. Alright, well I feel like that's enough. Like, I don't think we need to do any more laps here in the mini stock. I really like these cars. I think these will put on some of the best racing just about everywhere based on what I've experienced with them so far. But yep, that was good. I think that they'd be fun to race here, and might actually try and do that at some point because I think that would be good. We'll take a look at a little bit of the replay, guys, and when we come back we'll go into something with a bit more power. We'll actually go all the way up into the UMP Modifieds next, I think we'll do, and see how they go around here. Alright, UMP Modifieds. I thought that I'd selected night time as the time of day, but it doesn't look very night-timey to me, so... Oh, God. Oh, no! The wheel just about ripped out of my hand as I tried to drive out of the pits there. Yeah, it doesn't look very night-timey, so maybe there's just not lighting here, maybe? Or maybe I just got it wrong, but either way, 80% track state. So... getting right up there now. We're nearly worn completely. Certainly late in the evening, if not completely nighttime. And this is usually where these videos start to get more interesting because this will have a lot more power and it'll be a lot faster. So let's see what we can do. I've got no tear off button mapped, but we'll live with it. Oh, oh, oh. This is always where these videos get a little bit interesting because I've got to learn how to redrive the different cars again because they're all very unique, and this is probably one of the more unique cars of all of them because it drives so awkwardly. I say it every time. It feels like it drives on the right front wheel a lot. It feels like that's the tyre that's loaded up and the suspension's loaded up on, but it always feels weird. And My field of view feels funny in this car. It is the same as all the others, but I feel like I'm sitting on the dashboard. And it's probably only worse for you guys with only the one screen. I can see 3. So apologies about that, but... So now as the track is slicking right up, and we're forced to move a little higher on the track, that top groove is working, and of course we've got a car with a lot more power now. And the top is certainly starting to work more than I thought it would, so... That's too tight, too tight. Yeah, that top groove is going to be okay for these cars that have got more power, I think. You're still probably not going to run the boards right up there, but anyway. Let's have a look and see if we can get this thing down towards the bottom a bit more. Come on, driver, get the thing on the bottom. A little bit closer. Not bad, not bad. I always really enjoy driving these modifieds. I feel like they're fun cars to drive. Oh, that was right up there. Not fast, but fun. Certainly the exit of turn 4 is tight. You can't run right up on the fence all the way out through turn 4. It's a little bit the same here in 2, but certainly much more so in 4. Like, track tightens are right out, right up off the exit there. But we're about to find out because we're going to come back next and we'll have a go in the midgets, and we're going to crank the track state all the way to 100% for that. So that should be good fun, and we're going to come back and do that next. Alright, so I figured out what happened with the... Oh my goodness, again, coming out of the pits. I figured out what happened with the time of day. I had it set to sunset. I didn't realise that was a thing instead of night. So that was sunset, now we're at night, clearly. The midget, 100% track state. So we're probably going to find the fence here on the top. But, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Find out soon enough. Oh my god, I thought I was going to hit it straight away. Twice in that corner. So good. I always find it so hard doing these videos because I always end up thinking, oh man, this car's so good I should race it. Oh my god. This car's so much fun, I forget how good it is. Every time I say it to like 3 or 4 or 5 of these dirt cars and I just never race them. It's too hard to find good racing in Australia for a lot of them, but this midget is awesome. Always have a lot of fun driving this. I'm going to try and keep it with the wheels on the ground, not flip it. That's my goal right here. We'll do a handful of laps and try and keep the thing rubber side down. Let me see if I can figure out how to drive it enough to try and get to the bottom here. 100% track state. It still drives. This car, it drives okay in the slick. There's a lot of wheel spin there though coming up off the bottom. It's biting pretty good up off the top. Let's see if we can get down here again. That was better. That was way better. Sort of a little bit high. So it's certainly not clapped out like slick, slick, slick. It actually feels pretty nice considering it's 100% track state. And this top line up here exists, especially in these cars. It is so tight they're coming off 4, like I was saying. You got to really get out of the throttle. Same. Whoa! The same in 2. You kind of got to just get off the top and... No, 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 no! Oh, I thought we were going to roll. Oh, you sort of got to get to the top early and then drive back down, diamond off the exits. Like that. Oh. I keep thinking I'm going to go straight into the wall on the entry to the corner. And in fact, we have hit the wall the last couple of laps. Oh! Right out to the fence. Too fast. Nope, we got it in there. That was committed. Alright, well I'm tempting fate there. I'm just going to crash if I keep trying to go closer and closer. Midgets, great fun. On 100% track, I actually think they'd be really racy, and I need to race the Midget again. I really do. It's good fun. We'll wind the track state back down. We'll head back into the daytime, and we'll come back and have a go at the Wingless Sprintcar. You guys always like watching me struggle around in that, so let's do that next. Ah, yes, my old nemesis. You guys love this. The Wingless Sprintcar. 360 Sprintcar. We've gone back to 20% track state. We're noon for the time of day. I should also mention that all of the sessions so far, the weather has just been set to iRacing defaults. I usually do iRacing defaults, but I always forget to mention that. So the weather is the same for all of them, just the time of day and the track state changes. So, yep, 20% track state. You can see that the top here is still pretty heavy. I've got no tear off button map for this car either, but yeah, 360 sprint car wingless. Let's see whether or not we can get around here without hitting anything and looking too stupid. At least for once I managed to do this so that the track state is not like 0% while I'm trying to drive this thing. 100%, sorry, I should say. I might actually have a little bit of grip for once, and I actually do. Oh! Off the wall. The wall, never a good place to be in these cars. Did we just get the wall there, or was that a bump? Might have. Heaps of grip. They're just fast. So fast. Oh. But I feel fairly safe, unlike usual. I think that's to do with the track state as much as anything. I mean, I actually think that you'll be able to race these cars pretty well around here, but you need a group of people that can drive them. Almost impossible to find. I mean, I'm making it look quite difficult, because it is. It's not very easy just to hold a line even in these things, but you get enough people that know what they're doing together, you can race them. Well, that was actually really nice through there that time. Just figured out the sweet spot there. That seems like a good spot to stop before I do something silly and end up on my lid. Wingless Sprintcars, man, they're fun. They're real fun, and I actually think they'd be good around here. Might be different if the track was 0%, 100% worn, but yeah, that was good fun. Let's do the big block modifieds next. I think that we'll go and check them out, see what they're like. Let's take out the big block modified. Let's see how they go. Afternoon again now for the time of day. Really tight exit off of the pits there. It's so awkward to get around the, what do you call them, jersey barriers or concrete block fence, whatever it is. But yeah, the big blocks, 50% track. I feel like the track's light for the big blocks. I always imagine these things racing in basically 100% track state. Anything less is not what I think of for big blocks, but we'll see how they go here. This is the big one, not the 358 as well. This is the big block. Got the window mesh up on there just to trigger half of you guys that watch. Again, just the iRacing supplied Husets setup for this one. I really like the iRacing big blocks, but I do like them, but the thing is, something about them is underwhelming to me, and I don't think it's anything wrong with the car itself, but I just adore the Dirtworks Designs big blocks on R Factor 1, and as good as these are, I just don't know that they can live up to what I built them up to be inside my own head over there on R Factor. So they are good though, I do like driving them, but I'd still prefer to probably go drive them on R Factor 1. Let's see if we can get this thing down on the bottom a little bit more here. They're a funny car, like you got to drive them a very specific sort of way. As opposed to the UMP Modifieds, these ones drive off of the right rear a lot more than the right front. And you really got to do the exact opposite of what I just did there, and that's try and not get them too sideways. Drive them pretty straight. They're very torquey sort of motors as well, so you low RPM, low throttle inputs, just try and keep the car straight and walk it off the corners. Oh, tight. Ran up the track a little bit. I feel like these are the sort of cars that would race pretty well everywhere, to be fair, so I think you could get some good racing in these at this track. It's better to say that was better, but then we got the wall. Again, high in 3 and diamonding off the exit of 4 is the way to go. Alright, I think that'll do. Big blocks are big blocks. They're good. They're great fun. I think they'll race well here. And yeah, 50% track state. I mean, I don't think it really matters, but I like to run them on a higher track state than that. But yeah, that was good. We'll take a look at the replay, and then when we come back, I'm not doing the NASCAR trucks in this video. I always do the trucks. I'm not doing them this time. If you guys want to see the trucks in these videos again in future, let me know in the comments below, but I'm not going to do it in this one. What we'll do is we will move to the SRX car, which we did include last time, and we'll do that again for this video. So that'll be coming up next. On paper, everything about these cars is just all about me. Like, I love everything about them. They look good, they sound good. Never raced them. Never raced them. By all accounts, they're not that popular. I'd love to do a series that race these on dirt, road, oval, everything. But anyway, great Husets. No track specific setup from iRacing for this car at this track. So we've gone with, I think, the linear dirt. I felt like that might be the closest. Oh yeah. Two sideways. For sure, tricky cars to drive. They're not that dissimilar to driving like a stock car, which makes sense. I mean, they are essentially a stock car. Very sideways sort of cars. I actually forget. I think I've got the track state set to 80%. I think it was. I set it to here in the late afternoon. Oh, just got a bit of an awkward ride off the... There is a little bit of a cushion up there. I felt the right rear sort of just step up onto it and spat me sideways. They're just fun cars to drive. Like, they're hard to drive, and I like that. A lot of driving with your feet. It's a little bit too much caught on the inside berm there. It's a lot of driving with your feet, and I like that. Very difficult cars to drive. I'm gonna see if I can try and get down there onto the bottom a little bit. Yeah, nice. Something I'm noticing too with the higher track state, and you can see it here as we're in the lower light a little bit as we come down the main straight in particular, quite dusty. Like you can actually see the dust sitting here on the exit of the corner, which is pretty rare. You don't see that a lot. And this is the only car I can think of that I actually have to use the brake getting down into the corner. Try and get the thing to set. Oh, that's really good fun. They're just a fun car to drive. Alright, on the subject, before I talked about not doing the NASCAR trucks, on the subject of trucks and not doing things, I'm also not going to do the Pro 2 truck. I just don't think there's any need for it. It's not really a dirt car. So we're not going to do the dirt Pro 2 truck here in this video. We're just going to skip straight to the super late model, guys. Time to go big. We got the super late model and the sprint car to go, and I'm really looking forward to those. Go time here, guys. Super late model. The two big bangers left to go at the end of the video, as always. And we're back in the afternoon. 50% track state. And it's going to be a special one, this one, because I got the Scott Bloomquist livery on the car. First time I've been in the late model since Scott Bloomquist died. So, bit of a special one. We're going to go do some laps here with his paint on there and see what it's like. Let's check it out. So fun. Just so much fun, you guys. I really like the late models. Never ever raced them, but do really like them. In fact, the iRacing World of Outlaws series this year with the combination of sprint cars and late models, I saw that, and as much as I hate that for a Pro Series concept, I saw that and thought, you know what? I really should just grind my iRating and see if I could make one of those races, because I feel like I'm multidisciplined enough, like I could probably try and drive both the cars, but I'm not good enough. Like, that's a silly thing to think, because I'm not good enough to race at that level, but the whole idea of it sort of suits me, I feel like, racing the late models and the sprint cars together. But I'll tell you what, goddamn, this thing is fun to drive. And it's well suited to this track as well. Like, I was worried it might feel a little bit small for this car, but nah, it's fine. Oh yeah, get up there off turn 4. Just good. It's just good. Top, bottom, middle, doesn't matter. Just good. It's just good, guys. It was a lot of fun. Let's watch the replay here, and then when we come back, we're going to go into the sprint car. First, peek for you guys in the sim. My new paint for 2025 on the sprint car. So that'll be right up next. Well, here it is, the last car for us to check out. The 410 Winged Sprintcar. 65% track state and it's sunset. And just on the iRacing default set, we've got the wing tucked back a bit because it's going to be a little bit slippery. Let's burn it down, let's see what we got. I elected to go for a fairly high track state for the sprint car. Normally I don't do that, but I was a little bit curious to see what the high line would be like with a bit of track wear. I mean, it's not unreal. Again, the high end, low off and 3 and 4 works alright, but 1 and 2 is just not heaps up there. Just missed the bottom a little bit there in 1 and 2. 1 and 2, I haven't really talked about it yet, but 1 and 2 seems like a trickier corner. Then 3 and 4 is not bad. 1 and 2, it's just difficult to get a good line there. Like again, I'm fine through the bottom in 3 and 4, except that I'm smoking the wall every single lap. I just can't get down there in 1 and 2 the way I want. And if you go high, you've got that nice higher in and then middle line off, beautiful. But up the top of this end, it's sort of like not much to grab here, it's a bit rough. You can almost just pin it through 3 and 4. Not so much in 1 and 2. So it's interesting that the track is almost in two very different halves. Slider line. Pretty timid slider. Let's go for another one down here. I actually think that in 1 and 2 it's more viable because the entry to the corner is so rubbish everywhere. Just fast, fun, everything is. It's good, I love it. Track is great, pretty happy with this one. I think it'll race well in a lot of different things. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think? What's your favourite car combination for this track? And what do you think of the track just in general? Let me know in the comments below. But that's it for this video. I'm going to roll the replay here at the sprint car for a few laps. But if you enjoyed it, a thumbs up in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook at Hobbo88, twitch.tv/Hobbo88 if you want to check out the live streams. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and we'll see you guys in the next one.